Good morning, Minnesota DFLers, and welcome to the DFL Daily. Richard Carrabba, I'm here, chair of the Minnesota Democratic Farmer Labor Party. I want to start out by saying, so great to see many of you around the state on Saturday and Sunday. Got up early and drove up to Two Harbors on Saturday morning for Senate District 3's endorsing convention in Two Harbors. We endorsed Grant Hochschild and then the two Aarons in the House 3A and 3B seats. Excited to have that team running up there in SD3. I feel really good about our chances. And then drove over to Buffalo for the CD6 convention where Democrats endorsed Doug Chapin for Congress. He's been running a fantastic campaign, and I'm excited to be out there campaigning with him. I have to say, Doug started door knocking in St. Cloud yesterday. That's how serious he is about winning that race, and I'm so darn proud that he's hitting the ground running and door knocking right away. And then I was in Osseo yesterday for the 3rd Congressional District where they endorsed Kelly Morrison for re-election. And I'm excited to have her leadership in CD3. There are a couple of Republican legislative seats still in CD3, and we're focused on making sure we do everything we can to pick those up and turn the entirety of CD3 blue in November of 2026. All right, we're here every day at 10:45 to make sure you have the message, the action, and the tool. Before we get into it, just a couple quick highlights. Two Harbors, this is going to be a fun one. Two Harbors, DFLers are hosting a counter event to Mike Lindell's town hall up in Two Harbors, and they're calling it a DFL Pillowcase for Parity event. They're fighting back against the war on the less fortunate. They want to pack the house and show what Minnesotans really think of the Pillow Man, Michael Lindell. It's tonight at 7 p.m. at the Harbor Rail Pub. In Chatfield, they have the Rural Rally for Democracy, and then in Mora, there's a meet and greet with candidates running in Senate District 11, Mary Carlson and Jack LaRue in 11B. That's Thursday at 3 p.m. You can find all the events at dfl.org/event. Okay, let's get into it. Every Monday, we're sharing with you our message memo, and it's really important to us that Democrats collectively remain on the same page when it comes to messaging. When we first started the daily call, we did so, in fact, just to do that, to make sure that we all sing from the same song sheet is what we said back then. This message memo that we'll drop in the chat here in a second, this is compiled late in the week, the week prior, and it's compiled with feedback from legislative leaders and members of the legislature, the governor's team, the federal delegation. We really reach out far and wide to understand what Democrats want to be talking about. And this week, our message is very clear. Minnesotans are the heroes. I've been saying this at every convention I go to. Minnesotans are the heroes. DFLers are the helpers. That's what we want folks to remember. We're dropping that message memo in the chat right now. This message is for your neighbors, your social media, and every community organization that you're part of. Here's what to put in front and center in your conversation this week. First, DFLers aren't the stars of the story. Minnesotans are. DFLers are working to protect what Minnesotans have already fought for. On affordability, when the federal Medicaid cuts put 7 safety net hospitals at risk of closure, Minnesotans rallied for life-saving care. DFLers are standing up to big corporations to make sure affordable health care is there where and when you need it. On gun violence prevention, the Annunciation community faced unimaginable loss, and Minnesotans spoke up. DFLers are listening, doing the homework, and putting forward real solutions to keep children safe. On fraud prevention, when bad actors stole from the most vulnerable people in our communities, we are just as outraged as anyone. Minnesotans are demanding that they be held accountable, and DFLers are doing just that. Andy Lugar was the U.S. attorney appointed by President Biden, and he is the one who launched those investigations and secured those convictions. DFLers are the ones who are taking fraud seriously and are advancing meaningful legislation in the state legislature to do just that. And then when it came to the ICE surge recovery, when Operation Metro Surge began to recede here in Minnesota, we realized just how badly the ICE operations tore apart families and disrupted our local economy. Minnesotans organized, we protested peacefully, we came together to stand up mutual aid networks, and we continue to look out for each other. Then DFLers in the legislature went to work. They're working on keeping masked ICE agents away from daycares and schools and to strengthen our communities. And they're demanding Republicans work with us to establish a fund that helps small businesses that were impacted by Operation Metro Surge. In Minnesota, we take care of our people. That's what Governor Walz said last week. That's why they come after us, because in Minnesota, we take care of our people. That's what DFLers are fighting for, and it's what Minnesotans have always stood for. And facts matter, folks. They ground our message in reality and give it credibility. So here's some data points that will help you this week. As I said earlier, 7 Minnesota safety net hospitals are at risk of closure because of Donald Trump's Medicaid cuts. There are more than 200 Minnesota children that have been killed by gun violence since 2021. Law enforcement has charged over 92 people because Democrats acted when it came to taking fraud seriously. And Andy Lugar's team secured more than 62 convictions in response to fraud. And that accountability is ongoing. And from Operation Metro Surge, more than 70 Minnesota children were detained, according to a new analysis. Those aren't just numbers. Each one represents a family, a neighbor, a community that showed up and had to keep going. What story do those facts tell you? Drop your thoughts in the chat right now. We want to hear from you directly. There's some quotes that also help us illustrate our message of the week. This week, we're lifting up voices of Minnesotans and leaders, standing with them. Governor Walz, speaking on Jimmy Kimmel about Minnesota's response to Operation Metro Surge, he said the people of Minnesota showed up, showed the courage, and pushed back. We need to fill every single lane with good people who will want to make sure people are fed, we have health care, and we don't fight stupid wars. And then the Annunciation student Lydia Kaiser put it plainly. All children have the right to live free from gun violence. Elected officials have a duty to protect us from guns. That's the heroism we're talking about. A student standing up and saying what should be true for every kid in this country. DFLers are there to help make it happen, and we're fighting to help make it happen. So now the action. Words only travel as far as people carrying them, and that's you. We know that there are more people out there ready to get involved who just need a place to start. So there's 2 things that I want to highlight today. Number 1, if you haven't encouraged your family to join Couch to Campaign Trail, please do so. This has been a really powerful tool for us to make sure that we're reaching people when they're just getting involved in politics for the first time. This last weekend, I asked all the rooms I was in, who here is a delegate for the first time? And the number of people participating for the first time is remarkable. I think it's a record. And we have to make sure that we use the tool Couch to Campaign Trail to support them in getting more and more involved. And the other one is one that we launched last week, the Amplify Project. It's been launched in a massive way, and we can drop information in the chat to make sure that you know how to join Amplify. Amplify is a community of folks who want to know what and how and when to communicate really important messages. It's our most dispersed communications tool that we have, and it engages DFL leaders who have access to their own personal accounts and their organizing unit accounts to make sure that we're all singing from the same song sheet. So we'll drop those links in the chat now, and we hope that you'll send it to somebody who doesn't know where to start, or you'll sign up and join Amplify as well. All right, that's this week's message memo. Remember, Minnesotans are the heroes, DFLers are the helpers. Keep that at the center of every conversation this week. Lift up your community, share what you're seeing, and help others find their lane as well. Thanks, everybody. Happy Monday. We'll see you tomorrow. We have 190 days until the November 3rd midterm election. Let's go win this thing.